And we're live with another episode of Inside the Studio with BaronSmithPicker.com. So today we're going to be working without a net. This is a little bit different type of episode today. This is going to be the holiday edition, as you will. We've got some things planned today inside the studio and outside the studio. You notice I'm not reading a script today. We gave it a shot, and today we're going to go scriptless. Not to be confused with the Jason Bateman podcast, Smartless, although that could be applicable in my case as well. So, several things have happened this week. We got a lot to unpackage, but first of all, let's talk about what's going on today. We're actually doing a follow-up episode to yesterday. We were heading to the trailhead and had to pivot, and we ventured over to Lowe's where I met my father-in-law. He helped me pick out and load up and assemble a nice Craftsman tool chest. So I've never actually bought a full-fledged tool chest in my life. I've had some hand-me-downs that are in less than stellar shape, we shall put it, but I finally have my very own Craftsman tool chest. And it's not just any Craftsman tool chest. It's about as tall as I am. The lid resembles a barbecue grill, so it's also a very good workspace. It's basically counter height, perhaps a little bit taller, but I'll show you the Craftsman tool chest here briefly because today, in today's version of Inside the Studio with BaronSmithPicker.com, we will venture outside the studio today. Okay, so we're still within the pilot phase, you might say. So we're doing some trial and error things to see what works, what doesn't work. I had some very priceless, valuable input from some friends and family about the first couple of episodes. Some great, some tips on improving that I should take under consideration. So I take it all to heart, I assure you. So, as I said, today we're going scriptless. AI is great, but it's not something you want to rely on exclusively. I've heard several things mentioned about artificial intelligence, AI, from it's going to replace all of our jobs. Well, if you replace everybody's job, you have no workforce. Without a workforce, you have no economy, and then everything changes. So there's probably a hybrid version somewhere in the middle. I know some of you of a certain age may remember the dot-com boom. The new and shiny thing is always the latest craze, the obsession, and FOMO does apply to the business and corporate world. So a lot of these executives, they don't want to be left in the dust, so they are full in on AI. Some of the older, wiser outfits do take it with a grain of salt. It's probably somewhere in between that AI will probably replace people who do not use AI, but it's going to be a natural, organic progression, in my opinion. We're all using it in our daily lives because we all have that one little device that I'm actually utilizing right now, and that's how you're seeing me through a smartphone. So some have the Android environment, some have the iOS environment. I have one of each. I straddled the fence, so I try to enjoy the best of both worlds on a budget. So today, inside the studio, we'll catch you up with the comings and goings of everything in and around music, all kinds of music. I did some digging into Todd Snyder, who recently passed. That one hit pretty close to home because he is what you might call a peer, meaning he is within a certain age group and he is within my generation. We could have been in the same couple of years class in high school. So that really caught my attention. I've been listening to some Todd Snyder music, telling my friends about him. They've been exploring Todd Snyder. And basically, he was a folk singer with a sideways view on the world. And it's important to take their perspectives into consideration because they are part of the stuff that blends society together and makes it real. In the words of the wise Guy Clark, stuff that works, stuff that's real. So with that, we're going to proceed, and we're currently inside the studio, but I will take you outside the studio, I promise. We could call this sort of the holiday edition. The holidays are rapidly approaching. They got here way too fast. So, in the words of one of Mrs. BaronSmithPicker's favorite Christmas decoration, don't forget to mail your turkey. Be sure and check out the BaronSmithPicker.com website. That'll direct you straight to all of the musical things, cat related videos, anything in my world that interests and amuses me is all contained within this ecosystem I like to call BaronSmithPicker.com. So, with that, let's not delay. Let's get to it. Let me bring you up to speed on what we did yesterday and what we're going to do today. All right, first of all, we're going to show the new Craftsman tool chest. This is a 1,500-pound weight capacity. Each drawer has a 100-pound load. It says there's up to 15,848 cubic inches of storage. It's a 26-inch wide 4-drawer tool chest and 5-drawer rolling tool cabinet. It is a Craftsman made in the USA, and it's an S2000 series. I purchased it at Lowe's yesterday. The chest and the cabinet are sold separately, so let's see if we can do this. I'm going to lower it down to the cabinet part and just kind of show you. It does have casters at the bottom. Very good made parts. It looks like the casters are very high quality to support all of the weight they have to be. So the drawers open and close very easy. It came with a nice sturdy mat, which goes on top of the cabinet, and then you set the tool chest on top of it. And then what we've got here, we still need to put the mats into each drawer, but you got 5 pieces for the bottom half, and then subsequently we've got 4 pieces for the top half. The 2 bottom drawers of the tool chest are slightly larger, but here are the 4 pieces for the top half. I'm very happy with it. It's black. It's got a separate set of keys for the top and for the bottom. So you also have this lever in the tool chest. You go left or right to lock it or unlock it. So right now it would be locked. And then to unlock it, just move the lever. That is my handy dandy Craftsman tool chest. We're going to zoom out a little bit here, but so you can see what I'm talking about. The lid to the tool chest resembles a barbecue grill, which I thought that's kind of cool and unique. So when it's closed, it's side by side with my black refrigerator in the BaronSmithPicker man cave. Okay. Obvious by the guitar artwork right above it. I'll have to relocate the guitar paintings. Perhaps I'll put them inside the studio. You have to let me know what you think about that. But I did want to show off the Craftsman tool chest, since I did mention it so much in the show yesterday, because that was the Pivot. This is a desk lamp I've put in here temporarily just to show the tool chest. And we're going to get a light in there, but it also has inputs to charge your phone. It's got 2 different types, USB-C, USB. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got 6 outlets on a strip that's already included with the tool chest. There is a hole. I'm holding a gimbal, so bear with me. Sorry about that. But there's a hole at the back that you can route your wires through. So the surge protector wire is on the back side. I've plugged it into an extension cord so I have power. And then when you want to turn everything off, you just hit the switch on the strip. On, off. So this is the Craftsman 1,500-pound weight capacity tool chest and cabinet. So we're about to venture off to the trailhead. Attempt number 2. So we shall see if we will have any pivots to make today. Otherwise, on this beautiful, fine, sunny November day, it's currently, well, the truck shows 70 degrees. Technically, it's 58 degrees. I have a black truck, so sitting in the sun, I'm sure that affects the temperature gauge. Regardless, the official temperature here in Texas, North Texas, is 58 degrees on this fine Sunday morning of November, right before Thanksgiving, and all of the holiday madness that ensues. All right, folks, we actually made it to the trailhead. So this is in the Rowlett Creek Preserve. It's known. It's pretty famous bike trails. There has been a lot of rain recently, so we probably won't get to do the full exploration that we normally would. But I was here about a year ago, so I haven't been down here to preview the trails. So we're all seeing this with fresh eyes, folks. You'll be seeing it brand new with me for the first time this season. I noticed the Dorba Trail, it's actually called RCP, Dorba Trail, is closed. If you do want more information on this trail system in the Rowlett Creek Preserve, go to www.dorba.org. All right, here we are at the trailhead. You can see the sign behind me. Show you a little bit of the scenery, the background. There are a few other people here today with us. So I've seen a couple of bikers already. So we're in selfie mode, so I'm not using an editor tool, so I will do my best to show you the perspective when I turn the camera around. So let's go up to the trailhead here. All right. Here's the signage. RCP Dorba Trail closed, www.dorba.org. Says attention all trail users. Do not use muddy trails. If you're leaving the tracks, turn back. So that's kind of a safety note. So with that, we're going to proceed. And just visually looking, it is pretty muddy. There's actually a map of the bike trails here. So it shows the loop. The total mileage is 16.3 miles. There's the direction of the bike travel. There's some closed barriers. Loop 1A is closed. Trail ratings and definitions. So we have different degrees of difficulty on each trail, going from the easiest to the more difficult to the most difficult, and then extreme. So we won't be doing any extreme trailing today. So I can guarantee you that, unless it's by accident. So there we go. So again, the sign's showing that the Dorba Trail is closed. We do have some paved trails that takes you to the beginning stages of the trail. In fact, look behind me here. I've got my shades on so I can't see very clearly, but you can see the standing water back there. It's pooling behind me among the trees there. So that's why I'm taking you on the perimeter of the parking lot first, just to give you an idea of how much rain we have had. So, all right, and this is behind me. This is, like I say, it's a paved parking lot, so it's nice facilities, nice accommodations for nature lovers here in North Texas. So this is a makeshift gimbal I'm using right now, so bear with me. Hopefully the sound is good. Shout out to Irvin's Lens. He's one of my fellow hiking vloggers. So he usually gives me some pretty good feedback. on the sound quality. And if you have a chance, check out his channel, Urban's Lens, on YouTube. Lots of beautiful scenery videos on his channel. And we do have some backpackers with their hiking stick. So we will encounter some people and we will continue from there. All right, I'm going to do a pan and show you the open area greenbelt behind me. Get a full perspective of the greenbelt that we're currently in. So behind me, we've actually got a park area, a bench. And actually, let's walk over here and I'll show you all of the standing water from all of the rainfall we've had. And we're still very close to the city, so it's kind of a nice breakaway to get some open fresh air among the trees and the grass. It's one of my favorite spots. I wish I could get out here more often, but got to take the opportunity when you can. So far, so good. Yeah, I dare say I wouldn't bring my mountain bike down through here even if it was fully functional right now. So call this a scouting expedition to preview the trails. Here we go. This is a pretty cool little spot. As you go off into the trees. Looks like a good setting for a Nathaniel Hawthorne story about young Goodman Brown. If you're a literature buff, as I am. Or even a Western like Louis L'Amour's setting. This is the lone rider escorts his horse through the tree-lined trail. Gentle breeze blowing through. Yeah, it is quite the beautiful day today, folks. And it was a perfect day to get outside the studio, so I'm very happy you have come along with me. I hope you enjoy the scenery. We're not quite done yet. We're going to go ahead and take a few steps inward here, poke our head in, see how the conditions are on the Dorba Trails in North Texas in the Rowlett Creek Preserve area. Yeah, there's quite a few downfall trees here. As you can see, a lot more shade. The rest of the trail is concealed by the trees, but it's flanked by the creek that runs adjacent to the trail. So we're going to proceed a little further here as I guide you through this trail. No other hikers within sight at this point. Okay, so here, just to give you an idea of the condition of the trail. I don't know if you can see very good, but under the leaves, it's pretty soggy, and it's the sticky sandy loam mud it's going to take some doing to get it off your cleats if you wear your hiking shoes through here. In the same way with a mountain bike. But other than that, this is a pretty good setting. I could probably have a seat somewhere on a tree stump and do some serious meditation or songwriting, do some idea generating. The trees and the clear blue sky. Pretty impressive to have an opportunity to venture through some trails like this close to the house. Surprised more people don't take advantage of this, but I understand today because of the muddy trail conditions. I bet during the spring and early summer, this trail is swarming with people and hikers and adventurers, maybe even a few vloggers like me. I often joke about Bigfoot sightings, but down here, when you're in nature, you just never know what you're going to encounter. There was an incident I had last year, if you want to look through some of my previous hiking videos, where I did encounter a surprise visit. Thought we might have some scat here from some sort of animal. I think it's more like a large nut from the tree, and it's damp. Now it actually could be some horse scat or something, cow scat maybe, I don't know. So, but anyway, we're going to proceed. So anyway, as I was saying, my encounter at another trail, it wasn't this trail, but it was within the Rowlett Creek Preserve area along the banks of the creek, where I thought I was alone walking down the trail, and deep in the woods I sensed movement that was bigger than a rabbit or a squirrel. And you can see the shock on my face when I saw the large gentleman deep in the woods coming out and coming towards me. Come to find out, it was merely a fisherman trying to find a spot to relieve himself. He'd been out there fishing all day, so he was respectful enough to leave the fishing area to find a spot to relieve himself, but it was just timing. And I was actually doing a vlog in this format where I'm holding the camera on myself. But he saw me before I saw him, and he thought I was filming him. So I quickly explained as I laughed that no, I'm vlogging out here on the trails, and hope he had good luck on the rest of his fishing day. Okay, this trail is actually making a full hook, a U, but we'll proceed a little further. This is behind me. This is the direction I'm actually heading, so you can get a good idea. Try a different camera angle. I don't really have a monitor to see what I'm showing, so bear with me. I'll show you my direction that I'm heading, like my point of view, briefly, just to give you an idea. All right, we continue onward and forward. I actually chose this trail on purpose because I have previewed it once prior, so I have a good idea of where it comes out. But you do have to be somewhat cautious when hiking through these trails, because as I mentioned earlier from the map, there are 16.3 miles of trails. So basically, endless source of adventures and content. We'll continue a little further. All right, we're going to go a little faster at a good clip, move this along, let you enjoy the view. I'm actually filming with the new Pixel 10 phone, so hopefully it'll turn out okay visually. Got a wireless mic I'm using, magnetized version. Hopefully the audio is sufficient as well. We don't have a lot of wind noise, so that's good. But all right, we got a little bit of a green clearing to my right. I'll walk slightly off the trail because it's getting pretty muddy right here. It's always a good idea to watch your six, watch your head, watch your feet. You don't want to step into a hole or a soggy piece of ground. Gotta be a little more aware since you're out in nature. I'll just show you a perspective. Let's do a full 360. It is a beautiful day. I saw someone back there had actually a hiking stick, which is not a bad idea to ensure you don't lose your footing. I'm actually using a makeshift 3-foot gimbal, so it doesn't make contact with the ground, but at some point I may do a little bit of shopping and browsing to see if I can find something more appropriate. Technically, it's a mic stand with a mobile phone mount bolted to the handle. So, but hey, it works. Yeah, it's pretty pleasant. All right. As I recall, there is a clearing coming up in front of me, so I'll be sure and show you that. All right, staying on the trail. Yeah, it is quite muddy. It's packed mud, so it's not sinkable mud like quicksand or anything like that. But all right, here we go. Let's do a 360 again. I'll show you the clearing I was referring to. Here, let's see. Let's use the gimbal to its full potential. I'll take you up into the trees. Get a bird's eye view, so to speak. Again, I don't have a monitor, so I can't see what you're seeing, but from everything I see, it's pretty pleasant. Yeah, so hopefully you're enjoying what you've seen so far. If you do, please consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up button. Any interaction you do benefits the algorithm, so to speak. So thumbs up, comment, even if it's just a yes or no, thumbs up, thumbs down, preferably a thumbs up if at all possible. I hope I give you some valuable content that you can enjoy. I do the hiking so you don't have to. I always like that. There were some gamers I used to follow, and they said, we play the game so you don't have to. I think that was serious gaming. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and we're going to call it today, but I sure have enjoyed it. And I've enjoyed bringing you along with me outside the studio with BaronSmithPicker.com. If you have any suggestions or recommendations or even some tips, because I know there are hikers out there far more experienced than me, um, especially Irvin's Lens. I'm always thrilled to hear from him when he checks in. He's a very busy man. He's a hiker, and he's overseas in the Netherlands area, and there are some magnificent mountain sites he's able to capture on his videos. At one point, I thought it was actually stock footage for a Peter Jackson movie, like perhaps a future Lord of the Rings movie or a world-building George R.R. Martin movie that hadn't been released yet. But he is fantastic, and he's definitely not a waste of time, and he has definitely influenced me. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off today. But be sure and check in often, as I do post on a regular basis. I kind of have a wide array of content. I'm basically what you might call a basic cable provider, where you have a little bit of everything on my channel, BaronSmithPicker.com. In the YouTube ecosystem, I'm just simply at BaronSmithPicker. Baron is spelled Baron, just like the Red Baron. My dad named me after a friend of his in the Army. He was from Poland, and his name was Baron, and they were very good friends, and that's where I got my name. So I don't think I've ever mentioned that on the channel, but today seemed like a day for revelations because this has been a very pleasurable experience for me. I hope it has for you. So this was an unscripted episode of Outside the Studio. We began inside the studio and ventured outside the studio. So check back tomorrow. In the meantime, go out and make some history. Have some fun. Do something that you enjoy, because we're only here for a brief period of time, as the Tom Snyder tribute shows and reminds us. So, and check out Tom Snyder. He's pretty interesting. You know, you got to have a little bit of an open mind and a tongue-in-cheek sense of humor, but kind of open your eyes to a different perspective, perhaps a sideways view on the world. And my favorite song by him is I Think I'm an All Right Guy. So, like yourselves, like your neighbor, get out and make some history and do what you want to. BaronSmithPicker signing off.